Welcome to the YouTube Sports Network. Don't mind this low budget studio we got going on here. I think that the studio is a reflection of my commitment to this sports thing. I'm really battling with the idea if I really want to keep tuning in to sport. I know it's not a good way to start this because the name of the channel is YouTube Sports Network, but I might have mentioned it in other videos. I really am slowly removing myself from the sports world. My passion, my enthusiasm for it is not as high. I mean, unless I can latch on with somebody who is enthusiastic and like has passion in their voice and has a plan and can reinvigorate, my love for the game, I guess you could say. I just something has changed and I'm not liking it. I'm just not quite liking it. Something's off, and I just don't like it. And I find myself detaching. But this video, I have to get out. I'm actually really mad because I didn't talk about this a couple days ago. I'm actually really mad I didn't talk about this a few months ago. Because now talking about it is easy to say, but this is the type of thing. If you know me personally, you know me. You know certain things. You know some of my capabilities, or you know some of the things that nags at me as well. I'm pissed off because Kenneth Walker. I'm not mad. I'm very happy for him. Super Bowl MVP, free agent to be. He's a free agent to be. He's a Super Bowl MVP. Very good player. Now, I'm mad because, it's just, again, this is his ego. This is ego talking. This is strictly my ego talking. I was supposed to get a video out a couple days ago. I really wanted to highlight Kenneth Walker. I've been really wanting to talk about Kenneth Walker for a while. I have some people that can prove it. I have some text messages through people, but it's like, look guys, look what I was saying. Look, this happened. I've done that in the past. It's like, it's not, that's something I got to deal with, the disappointment. I just want to be able to get this stuff out before it happens so I can, that's the name of my blog. I call it how I see it, and sometimes before it happens. I can feel things, I can see things, but when I don't get it out in time because I'm distracted, and I'm just like, the duality of my life is, is interesting. I will share it one day. I'll share it gradually, like how I think and how I operate. But long story short, Kenneth Walker. I want to talk about Kenneth Walker before the game, the Super Bowl. I was not going to say at all he was going to be MVP. I was not going to say that. Not at all. But what I was going to say was I was going to highlight, guys, pay attention. Kenneth Walker is on his way out the door in Seattle, and I have a destination for him. And I've had a destination for him for a while. Are you looking? Arizona Cardinals. I'm telling you right now, I really believe the Arizona Cardinals are going to go after Kenneth Walker. Reasons being is I got two solid reasons why I think they're going to go. Well, three solid reasons why I think they're going to go after him. But maybe two are the same. One of them is number one. Arizona used 5 running backs last year. 5, 6 maybe. I think there's another guy. I'm not gonna name the other guy. But off the top of my head, it was James Conner, who got hurt. He signed through the 2026 season. He has one more year left on his deal. He signed a 2-year extension a couple years ago. 2 years, $19 million, I believe. So James Conner has one more year left. But anyway, he got hurt. So James Conner, Zonovan Knight, Michael Carter, Trey Benson, and Emil Demarcado. I think his name is Emil Demercado, who's very, very underrated, talented running back, very talented. You know, he made headlines because a couple years during the season he was running, approaching the end zone, and I think he dropped the ball before getting into the end zone. I don't know. I mean, I never understood that. I want to definitely solidify the score, but it's a risk to take, especially when you're not in your career. He's a talented guy, but he's not well known. He's not quite doesn't have a lot of stats on his resume. So you would think he'd solidify that touchdown. But anyway, maybe he was told to do that. I really don't believe anything I see anymore. I really don't. I've always been a skeptic, but now there's just too many examples of this shit. All right. So anyway, 5 running backs they use, 6. I forgot the other guy's name. It's probably right there. For his sake, I should probably say, because I'm a Virgo and I need to do it. His name was Corey Kiner. Okay, Corey Kiner. I just had to get that out for the sake of getting it out. Corey Kiner. All right, so they 6 running backs. They each got all those guys got time. So I think, okay, go get yourself a free agent running back. You commit to Kenneth Walker. God is on his side. Keep him healthy. Another reason, they're in the same division. The Cardinals, the Seahawks, the Rams. Jesus. Oh my God. Cardinals, Seahawks, Rams, 49ers. There's a thing between, this has been a trend now for a long time. People know, some people don't pay attention. Guys staying within a division, signing with another team within a division, that is norm. That is very common. It happens a lot. So much. So I think the latest installment and the latest possibility or the latest example of such would be Kenneth Walker staying in the division and signing with the Cardinals. Maybe there's a little incentive. Kenneth Walker in the last couple seasons gave some way. I mean, he hasn't been a guy. I don't think he's a guy that gets, maybe a few years ago, maybe his first 2 years, maybe his first year. I got to look again. His first year. But his first year, he got over 1,000 yards. This year, he got over 1,000 yards. I don't think he got over 1,000 yards his second and third. But he's been giving up some. He splits time with Zach Carbonell, the other running back on the team. So maybe there's a little you know what, you haven't been using me as much, which is saving his legs in a bit, keeping him fresh. But he's a tremendous athlete. Doesn't take a lot of wear and tear. Doesn't seem like it. Seems like he takes really good care of his body, and so I think that maybe there's a little bit of a chip incentive to maybe even though Seattle, he just won a Super Bowl with them. I don't know what goes into their minds, but it does happen where these guys they stay in the division and then they go over to another team. And I can see the Cardinals having a major possibility of a major need at running back if they want to fill it. I understand they like the guy, some of the guys they have, but they used 6 guys. You can sign Walker. You could probably still use 1 or 2, but I could see that definitely being a mix. Especially you can get Walker and ride out James Conner's last year, and you could have a 1-2 punch that way, like a thunder and lightning type of thing, which I could see working. Or they can just release Conner, or they can trade Conner. Point is, I could see Walker there. And also, third reason why he's a really talented guy. I mean, he scores touchdowns. This guy's a very underrated fantasy player. I mean, you can say that he's like feast or famine. There's times you look at his stat line, he'll average 3.4 yards a rush one game, maybe 3.6 one game, and then he'll have a 6.1, 7.2, 5.5, 5.5. So he's kind of closer to feast or famine, but he mostly gets his stats. I'm surprised he doesn't get more catches out of the backfield. I can see this guy being more of a 35, 40 catches a game type of player. Maybe with the Cardinals, they can limit it to a Kenneth Walker, Trey McBride, and then Marvin Harris. That's a really, now you're talking. With the ability of Kenneth Walker running and receiving, Trey McBride, my guy who drafted in fantasy, okay, 1,000-yard tight end now, two years in a row, and then you have Marvin Harrison, who's got to step up and play better. Then you got Michael Wilson, very good. So they got something going, but they can really get that going. I feel like if you add a really dynamic player in Walker, so I can see Arizona. I texted my buddy who's a Seahawks fan. We were going back and forth all year, but mostly a couple months ago. I was like, hey, I just want to let you know he's a Seahawks fan. Walker's going to the Cardinals. I just want to let you know. So, and then yesterday in the Super Bowl, 27 carries, 135 yards. He got the MVP. He almost had that. He had that late game. It looked like he ran for like 50 yards for the touchdown, but they called a hold. I'm sure Vegas was like, no, we want him to keep the under. We got to keep the game with the under. You know, a lot of funny stuff. I'm telling you, I watched about 6 plays of the Super Bowl. I couldn't even get myself to watch it. I watched 6 plays and it was staggered. It was already super staggered. Everything's so staggered. There's no flow. The commercial breaks, the timeouts. Come on, bro. It's not even worth it anymore. I got to look at it from a different angle, which I'm still trying to figure out how. But, you know, if I want to stay invested in it, I think it's my identity. I've attached myself to sports my whole life. And now you're starting to see some of the layers be pulled back. And then you see how the athletes are and all that. I'm just like, man, I'm not really quite as much into it. If I can find somebody, I've always said I would like to work with a team. I like to work as a team, you know, get a lot of like-minded people. We can get something going, but I just, maybe I haven't reached out as well as I should have, but I haven't had anybody come towards me in the abyss. You know, it hasn't really been like, I say abyss, but I mean, hey, yeah, you want to work together, or hey, you got to do some good stuff, or hey, Dev, what are you thinking? We should, yeah, sure. But nah, it's like, it's hard to find your people. It's hard to find your tribe. But I always said that, you know what, you can also be a lone wolf. I've kind of, you know, I've nothing wrong with that either. You know, you can make your own bed. You can do your own thing. You don't have to you don't need anybody when you're trying to be creative. It's nice to have to get those juices going, the brainstorming skills going. But, you know, that motivation, that accountability, that responsibility. But, you know, so that's kind of where I'm at. But I teeter back and forth. So I feel like for a little bit now, I got to decide what I really want to do, you know. But I really want to talk about Kenneth Walker. Also, the shaved head thing. Can we just admit this whole shaved head thing is powerful? I mean, Artemi Panarin did it a couple years ago. I literally did. I swear, me and Artemi Panarin are on the same schedule. A couple years ago, I shaved my head after having long hair. I swear, Panarin, I think the same day, the next day he did it. I don't even know. The same day, the next day, whatever it was, he shaved his head. I have video. I have proof on my phone, like the day I shaved it, and like a picture of Panarin, because I have the broadcast, the New York Rangers broadcast. I took a picture of him. I'm like, look at that. They showed a split screen. His hair, you know, with his hair, and then with a shaved head. I'm like, that's crazy. And then like this year, I noticed that he had shaved his head again. I'm pretty sure he shaved his head again. And I shaved it, same thing. Not in response. I shaved it. And then all of a sudden, I see his head shaved. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. So, I don't know. To me, I find that really interesting. Kenneth Walker shaved his head. I'm pretty sure he went with the baldy, the complete baldy. He never had that. And I remember there was a video earlier this season about it. Maybe prior to the season or during the season. I said I remember, but I can't. I remember, but I don't remember the details. Point is, he shaved his head too. And I remember it was like obviously it didn't catch people's attention. He gave his reasons for all that, but, you know, good dude. Seems like a good dude. And his father attends the Super Bowl, his first game he's ever attended was the Super Bowl. The guy's been in the league for 4 years. First game. There's always a weird stuff around the Super Bowl. I believe it and all, but it's just so weird to me. It's like, I guess it's one of those things. People just stick to their guns. Like, hey, you got to believe it. You got to believe it. Maybe he was like, yeah, you get to the Super Bowl, then I'll go. All right. Well, he gets the Super Bowl. He plays well. They win the Super Bowl. He gets MVP. It's like, he doesn't have to go to a game ever again. He saw the best game he could possibly see. His son winning a Super Bowl and him becoming MVP. So anyway, yeah, power to shaved head. Great player. I think he's going to the Cardinals. I mean, there's some other teams out there. I saw somebody had said the Commanders which you can see for sure. I mean, Eckler's there, Brian Robinson with the Niners. I mean, you could Ja'Cory, they got some guys there, but I'm gonna go with what I feel, and I feel good. I feel good about the Cardinals. I'm just saying, I think the Cardinals are gonna get them. So that's my hunch. That's my feeling. All right. I have another thing I wanted to talk about. I was gonna say something about the offensive player of the year. I really wanted to say how many bets are how much money is Vegas going to make on the touchdown bets for Jackson Smith and Jugba? How much money? Because the offensive player of the year had a phenomenal season. I'm kicking myself in the ass because I felt really good about that before the year. Again, you can believe me or not. I know it's tiring for those who might hear it, or maybe they're like, oh, I believe this guy. I swear I knew he was going to have a great season. And the reason why he was going to have a great season, because he already had a good season the year prior, last year. But he was going to have a good season because people were sleeping on the fact that Sam Darnold is a UFC quarterback. Jackson Smith and Juba is a USC wide receiver. And although I don't think I know they didn't play around the same time, they still got that background, that history, that connection in my eyes, I thought. And it played out into this. So I was thinking, how many people, now fast forward, how many people are going to place a bet on Jackson Smith to score a touchdown because obviously he had a great season? Just like I was thinking, man, last year, it was inspired of Saquon Barkley, who won Offensive Player of the Year with the Eagles. They get to the Super Bowl, and he had a relatively quiet game. A lot of people, I'm sure, put, oh, obviously Barkley's going to score. And then he didn't. So this is the second year in a row now where the Offensive Player of the Year plays in the Super Bowl and doesn't score. In fact, I think this is the third year in a row, maybe the fourth year in a row, that the player from the who won Offensive Player of the Year participated in the Super Bowl. If I'm not mistaken, Cooper Kupp 4 years ago, Christian McCaffrey 3 years ago, Cooper Kupp 3 seasons ago, 2 seasons ago McCaffrey, last season Saquon Barkley, and then this season Jackson Smith and Jugba. McCaffrey scored three seasons ago, or last season Barkley didn't score. This season Smith and Jugba didn't score. 2 seasons ago McCaffrey did score in the Super Bowl. I don't remember if Cooper Kupp did. I'm not sure. But the point is, I wonder how much money Vegas made off touchdown bets or parlays or bets with Smith and Jugba and being in that, because he didn't, he's relatively quiet. And it makes you wonder, like, it's like the most important games, pay attention, the most important games of the year, right? The best players on offense, it feels like, doesn't even have to play well. The best players don't even have to play well for the team to win the most important game. When I start thinking that, I'm like, does that mean it's rigged? Or is it just you have savvy game planning? That's something to think about too. I always wondered about that. I'm starting to pick up on that. It's like the best players don't even have to play well in the most important game. So they just have to do everything during the regular season, build it up, and then deceive you when it comes to the end, or not deceive you. But so how do you win games? To be the best team, you don't need your best players? So part of it is just like, I mean, obviously you got to play well. Everybody has to play well. You're not one player. That's just something I was thinking about. Anyway, Kenneth Walker to the Cardinals. What do you think? Let me know. That's the YouTube Sports Network. I'll be back, I think,